Yes, in Uganda, or rather, girls from Uganda, a family from Uganda, and what they had to go through. Now, a video of daughters reading out their text messages, or rather the text messages that their dad had sent to another woman, has ended up causing a stir on the interwebs. Now, the video has gone viral online as netizens debate about the appropriateness of the daughter's actions. The kids are said to be Ugandans living in America. They confronted the dad. Do we have the video? All right, so let's listen in.
Fed up. Just know I'm so mature. I have no mess. Please,
don't act like you don't know what this is.
My #1 priority. Then you got this one going on. Truly miss your vibe. You weren't good enough. Thank you. It was a life we enjoyed, my dear.
Dad, you
I know was very nice to you, very well, believe me. It's just I don't. Just next time.
Dad.
Now, in case you can't make out what's going on in the video, in the background, the voices that you're hearing are that gentleman's daughters. They're reading out text messages between the father and his mistress, and just, you know, constantly expressing their disapproval, their embarrassment, and just how disappointed they are in their dad. Cindy, let me start off with you.
Absolutely.
Do you think they had any right to do that? And away from that, this is now, it's gone viral globally.
Yeah. Yes,
Thoughts?
it has. My immediate thoughts is, and let me bring it to a Kenyan context, because this was a Ugandan family that immigrated to the US. Still has a bit of cultural roots, and that is why if you read the comments all over social media, people are saying the girls are being disrespectful. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the PSA. If you want to know polygamy works, because there's this talk of polygamy is African, all men cheat and so on and so forth. If you want to know polygamy ask the children. Don't ask the wife. The wife will swallow, and there's this saying that most women are buried without tongues because they bite it. The wife will swallow it for the sake of her children, for the sake of her marriage, even for the sake of her parents. But polygamy and cheating affects the children. And I think this is a perfect display of what having your mpango wa kando and your side dish does to the children. Because you can see the mom was seated there. Of course, probably she conspired with them and told them, yes, go and munlika him. But at the end of the day, the damage that is caused when a man cheats on his wife, when a man brings another woman into the family and then says, now we are all together, and you're like, from which direction? The wife will accept it. You guys are adults. But the children, allow them to decipher it the way they want to.
Yeah. Kwach, I know your baby mama has made it very clear.
Yeah.
Her stance on this subject matter.
Especially,
but what do you have to say?
Yeah, but I think, Bimi, I was more concerned, just like other Kenyans and everyone else who's talking about it. Yes, one wrong has been done, and that's the cheating. And without knowing the details of the cheating as well, we also know, in fact, the reason why this video is even a thing in the first place is because people are discussing the appropriateness of the daughters being the ones to address this issue. And speaking from our context down here, it is absolutely something that would never happen. And Cindy, I'm not sure what you mean when you're saying that it is the children that get affected more than the partners. Because recently we are having this conversation with some of my friends about their dads introducing outside kids to them that they didn't know for a very long time. Like people my age who have just been introduced to their siblings, juicy too.
That's
and
true.
it was a running call that none of them cared. And they said that if it was not for their mother, they would have wanted to meet these siblings earlier on in their lives. Their dad could not introduce these siblings to them because they feared that, oh, sijui pale nikipeleka, mama wa nyumba hata kubali ya watoto wengine wanini pamoja.
Cindy, before you chime in, let me hear what Mariam has to say.
I think there's so many things to focus on that video. But if you guys know Utaduism, it's that man's face in that video while he's there with his cup of chai it's peak utadu. You're lecturing me, you're doing this, but utadu. Also, assuming that the wife did not know, like this is news to her, absolutely false. I'll say this, as for who should be doing it, I do not think it's the daughters. I understand, like, maybe you caught your dad cheating one way or the other, forward that information if you must, but to call out your dad, I'm usually the more liberal one on this panel, but this just, I don't know, there's something very un-African about it to me. I do agree children suffer when there's cheating. I'm not on Kwache's side that people generally don't care about like other siblings. I'm sorry, when people show up at your father's funeral and they're like, actually we're his sons and daughters and wives, no, that's a whole other problem.
But
yeah, it slaps
is it
different.
Mariam, that they always say we wish we were introduced earlier? When
People always say that.
People say that, but
it's more like we wish you didn't exist,
yes.
to be honest.
I don't think I've ever met a single person who wished their siblings did not exist.
That's true.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's not about wishing the
can
siblings did
that.
not exist, because you
It's
see,
the
there
other
are two
life.
different contexts.
Yeah.
If the father went and had children out of wedlock, and you discovered later on, you're grown enough to know, these kids did not come and disrupt our life.
Yeah.
But if the dad, in the middle of you being a nuclear family, brings in another chick, brings in another side chick, and you know, for the kids to expose the dad, what did the dad do to the point where the girl said, we need to expose this guy? Was he neglectful? Was he abusive? You see, every action has a direct or equal reaction.
Could
So
I
he
ask a
probably
question,
did
Cindy?
something that affected the children. That's why I'm saying polygamy and kando works very well for adults. Even the wife can swallow it, but ask the children how they feel.
They have a
Why
problem
on the
with it.
internet though, guys? I
That's
can
what I
understand
wanted
calling
to
him
ask.
out, but why post
That's
it on
what I
TikTok?
wanted to ask.
You know, that's what's giving me the ick. He's done something wrong, you want to call him out. I don't really feel like you are the person to call him out. I think there's people who could have maybe done that better. But then why post it on TikTok and have it go viral? Because you knew it would go viral. I know Museveni is shaking in his boots saying, I wish these people were in my country.
I'm sure Ugandan men are embarrassed.
No, I agree with Mariam. I mean, Mariam, I think if you as the child feels affected, maybe your school fees hasn't been paid for a year, 2 years. Meanwhile, you're seeing people are flying all over the world, they're traveling. Of course, you feel really bad.
Yeah.
Then you feel, you know, you have the right to ask your father, why would you do this? Why would you neglect us for someone that you just met a few years ago? And most of the time you'll find that when you're broke, you're with us, you love us, and then you get money and all of a sudden your wife is not as pretty anymore. But I don't agree with it being posted online, because other than you trying to embarrass your dad, I think your mom also becomes collateral, because the whole world doesn't need to know what's going on in her personal life. It's very private. But what do you think? Please do let us know. At The Trend Live is our hashtag. Is our handle. The hashtag is TTTT. Would love to hear from you.